A crucial element of the FOCUS program is the implementation of peer helping. In this video, we will hear from Ms. Sue Jones as she discusses various guidelines associated with peer helping in schools.
Okay, he said I would address the Alabama Course of Study. And what I'd like to say about that in just a few seconds is that there is a big misconception in this state that we are an abstinence-only state, and we are not. Basically, in the state course of study is a state mandate that you teach HIV every year in grades 5 through 12. You must. The fallacy of that is that there is not an adopted curriculum for that. And there are people in the state who show a 30-minute video and say, check that one off. And often they do it at the very end of the year after all the testing's over and half the school's on a field trip and they want something to do that day. And don't think for a minute kids can't read through that. They know that you're not giving that topic much importance. So HIV is required. Another thing that's required is that we must teach medically accurate methods of contraception. Everybody should be teaching that every year, medically accurate. You also must teach the medically accurate information about sexually transmitted infections as well as HIV. And no one is going to be promoting for our kids to be sexually active. No one's going to do that. No responsible adult would ever do that, I would not think. Even if you talk about condoms, you talk about, like Tom said, reducing the risk and postponing sex until you're ready, but still give them that information. I taught for many years, and I never had one parent come and complain because every time I taught, it was by those guidelines. But we did talk about condoms. Now, I had a toolbox, literally a toolbox, and I had gone to the pharmacy, and they had given me every different type of contraception. So I had, actually, they could see it. And they would pass that pill thing around, the birth control pills, and we would explain, that was a hormonal way to prevent pregnancy. Then when we talked about barrier method of preventing pregnancy, I would show a condom. It was like I had pulled a snake out of a hat. They would just go crazy. They would go crazy. And then they wouldn't pass it. They wouldn't touch it. But no parent complained. I didn't do a condom demonstration. I didn't have a penis model. I didn't do any of that. I just showed, and actually, it wasn't out of the package. It was just in the package. We talk about the expiration date. So those things we're supposed to talk about. And all the while talk about postponing sex. And that's, I don't know how you could ever do anything different than that. All right, I'm going to talk now. The next slide, and it's just one slide because peer helping, for those of you that have peer helping in your school, you can't do this in 20 minutes. You can't do it in one day, really, if you're going to become a trained peer leader that's going to train your students. There are some people in here that can really teach peer helping. They have very successful peer helping programs in their schools. And I think that they would all agree with me that all of you that want to start a peer helping program, you need to be at this National Peer Helpers Conference at Perdido Key. The date is wrong. That's kind of when it usually is. I was guessing on that because they had not set the date. But the new date has come out, and it's going to be February 7th is late afternoon check-in with early morning February the 8th and February the 9th. Please come. A lot of us already go, but we have so much fun. It's at Perdido Key, and you will leave there with all the knowledge you need to start a peer helping program. So hopefully you will consider that. If you will go ahead and talk to your administrators about going to that and getting the funding that you would have to have, I think, I know all schools have professional development money in your school system. And you will be able to get that trip paid for and implement peer helping.